Now, let's take a look at some of your comments on our Greater Idaho series. Most of these came following last night's report, and we can tell you that you are fired up. Maybe we don't need to tell you that. How about this from Robert? I'm tired of hearing about Greater Idaho movement. There's no movement. This nothing more than a belch from a minuscule conservative minority of the state that stinks, as one might expect a belch would. Okay. Christie says we are sick of Oregon's overtaxation and no police protection, the crime, the drugs, the nefarious activities in general, and we simply don't feel safe. We want out of here. It used to not be like this until the disease of liberalism changed it. We are done.
I've lived in Oregon my whole life. I'm 93. I lived in Portland. I grew up there. I've been in La Grande for 50 years. And when I hear about joining Idaho, it makes me very, very angry, because some people say, yeah, we're so different out here. Well, that makes Oregon wonderful. We are different than maybe the West, politically and otherwise, and that's true. But that makes Oregon even better.
Or what about this from Lynn? It's getting old hearing the urban folks tell the East Side, if you don't like it, why don't you just move? To them I say, why don't you stop whining about Portland and just move? Not always that simple, is it? Shirley says, I don't think moving the border is a good idea. I have family living in Idaho and am aware of many drawbacks in that state as well as Oregon. As my mom once said, the grass looks greener on the other side of the fence, but it still has to be mowed. And Tom chimed in, this is all a waste of time. It will never happen. As for Salem not listening, I voted for Hillary, but had Trump for president. The whining about not getting what you want is just life in America. Many of you agree that Governor Kotek should hold a listening tour of her own in the eastern part of the state. Peter says Kotek was elected governor of Oregon, not just governor of the people she agrees with in Oregon. She should focus on advocating policy for everyone and learning what challenges exist across the spectrum. It's like I have to remind my 3-year-old, we need to put our listening ears on. Our elected officials need to go back to basics. Finally, several of you have asked us to show how much tax money flows out to those 11 counties from the state and how much they send in. We have been trying to figure that out all week and have contacted many government offices to try to get the numbers. Turns out that's a much more complicated question than it sounds. Just know that we've heard you and we are working on it. I do think it's a safe bet to say they get way more than they pay into the system, but I do hope to nail down specific numbers soon. So, what do you think about the series or the movement so far? Send us an email, will you? The address is thestory@kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail, 503-226-5090. And if you've missed parts 1, 2, or 3 of our Eastern Oregon listening tour, no problem. You can watch them right now on our streaming channel, KGW+. It can be found on Roku or Amazon Fire. Add it to your homepage so that you can watch segments or full episodes of this show, The Story, anytime. You can also head to the KGW YouTube channel to find our content. It's updated every single weekday.